the Swedish Transformers convention, RETCON, is going to be coming up later this year in September of 2019. And already we have information about one of their exclusives. Now, normally, I wouldn't be talking about an exclusive from a Swedish Transformer convention, but what they have is something really unique that actually caught my eye. And I love it when third party does these weird kind of stuff. Way back in the day, the old Marvel Transformer comic books from Generation 1, they had a very special issue. Issue number 33 of the Marvel Generation 1 comic books was a very special book in that it was the first time that the USA releases of Transformer comic books ran stories from the UK side of things. Now, for people that don't know, the United Kingdom, the way that Marvel comic books were done over there is a lot of stuff was released on a weekly basis instead of a monthly basis. And that led to a lot of times where you would have full color stories, which would be whatever would be the monthly story issue of whatever comic book, let's say X-Men, let's say Spider-Man. And then they would run weekly thinner releases in black and white of said stories. Now, when it came to Transformers, it was more, how do I explain this? It was more tightly knit, the story, so a lot of times they had to fill in the gaps. You know, like if they're going to write a story in between issues 3 and 4 of the Marvel books, then they had to do stuff like that. And that's where Simon Furman actually got his hands dirty first in Transformers, was through these UK stories. So one of these very, very first stories was called The Man of Iron. And this was, again, originally released in the UK, and it was the first time any of the UK stories from Transformers got released in America was through issue number 33 of the USA releases of the books. I know this is kind of confusing, but it's like, if you're a collector of the Marvel books and you look at the way they were released in the UK and look at the way they were released in the United States, there's a lot of, like, crossing over and stuff, and you have to know which books you're buying. And then there's different covers, and of course they have their own magazine size shape and stuff. So Man of Iron was a script that was written by Steve Parkhouse. It wasn't a Simon Furman story, but it has a very iconic cover, which is on that cover. It had this very bizarre, like, red and blue robot on the cover. And especially those issues, I always say, like, issues number like 25 to about 38, 39, those are the most common issues of, like, Generation 1 Marvel comics. I find that, like, when I find those comics in the wild in dollar bins or in pull bins and stuff like that, it's always issues from around that time, because that's when Transformers was in its peak of popularity. So a lot of those issues you always find. So I always find Man of Iron and all of those. So what does this have to do with RETCON? Well, Mastershooter Collectibles, a company that's been around for quite a while now. I actually did a review of one of their toys many, many years ago, their Firebolt from their Shooter Master series. Mastershooter is going to be releasing a special exclusive for RETCON, which is going to be a homage to that UK exclusive. That UK exclusive character from the Man of Iron. And this is pretty cool because it's, you know, it's a nice little throwback to a toy or a character that never really got a toy, excuse me. And so this is pretty awesome. This is pretty cool. And I mean, considering the fact that RETCON is going to have Simon Furman as a guest,
yeah,
kind of a nice little nod to all of that too. This is really awesome. I really dig this a lot. And Mastershooter, again, they've done amazing stuff in the past. And I just, like, they sent me a statement, because when I saw this, I actually messaged one of them and I said to them, I was like, you know what? Is there anything do you guys want me to, like, pretty much talk about or mention when I talk about this on the podcast? And they were just like, you know, just mention our Facebook page. So I'm going to link their Facebook page in the description and in the comments, and also that they still have their Mega-Gun and their other repaints that are still available to purchase, as well as the Blind Bag TFCon exclusives and the Build-A-Bot program ones also. They have a lot of different, because Mastershooter, how they work is they pretty much specialize in target masters. That's what they do. And all of their Target Masters are more or less compatible with any 3mm peg transformers, which are almost universally 90% of modern transformers of the deluxe scale. They have that 3mm peg hole. So they work with all of those. And a lot of their stuff that they've done throughout the years, you could pick up now from their website. It'll be available. And also, be sure to check out this one at RETCON. This thing is really cool. It's awesome that we're getting an homage to a very obscure character that never got a toy from the past, from the Marvel UK history.